Levels.
Levels.
I don't know what anything looks like. We'd have no.
Yeah.
That was almost worthless.
We're doing levels without. We're doing levels without any levels.
Fantastic.
I think right there's our cold open.
Okay, so given how screwed up this cold open is, should we start the episode with something that I learned this week?
I mean, it seems backwards to me, but sure, hit me with it.
Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so is this episode done?
At least the episode, maybe the entire podcast. The toddlers would hope so.
Hi, toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd, a weekly podcast with Dewayne Johnson and Todd Friends, where failure is always an option. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Can't complain. How are you?
I just want to make sure we get this thing wrapped up because I can't wait for Friday morning football with a 1:20 a.m. kickoff over here. So, yep, just super excited. You know, it's the old traditions that are the best.
What are you watching Big East football? Why are you up at what is this?
Well, Thursday night football shifted forward 6 hours, puts you at Friday morning kickoff. So the good news, however, is I said, hey, I think we're finally staying at a place that I think I could watch an NFL game. And then I looked and I said, we're just missing this because we're headed out of here on Sunday, and the NFL kicks off their London game this Sunday as we're leaving. And it would have been at the right time, no time shift, and that would have been awesome. However, I believe the NFL, in its infinite wisdom, has decided to bring over 2 1-3 teams to welcome back to football. And by football, it's in quotes. It's a question mark at the end. Welcome back, football.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, you say that, and yet, let me ask you this: even when you scheduled this a year ago, if you would have thought that putting the Jets and the Falcons, let's just be honest, you put the Jets anywhere. Is that a good idea? No, not really.
New York doesn't even want the Jets. They play in Jersey.
Yeah. So anyway, good news. Yeah, I don't have to stay up to watch the Jets and the Falcons score nearly. At some point, somebody's going to say, "I thought this game was higher scoring than English football," and people are going to say, "Not the way these teams play it." Anyway,
now 3-0 sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, and Amy will invariably chime in on this. When we travel to the West Coast and we get up on Sunday morning and have to go to brunch to watch a noon Central Time kickoff at 10 a.m., which means we have to be somewhere at 9 or 9:30. It's just weird. I'm sorry, it's weird.
When I moved from the Central Time Zone to the Mountain Time Zone, and yes, there is a Mountain Time Zone. Everybody forgets there's a Mountain Time Zone, but there is a Mountain Time Zone. The first, 5, 6, 10 years, it felt weird watching football, right? Because games kick off at noon and 3. That's when they kick off. That's the way God intended it. And then you move to the Mountain Time Zone and the games kick off at 11 and 2. And you go, that's just weird. That's just that. I don't know if I like that. And then Sunday night football kicks off at 6:20, and Monday night football kicks off at 6:20. And suddenly you go, this is a pretty good time zone.
That's all right.
This isn't bad. You know what? I'll take it. And then when I lived in the Pacific time zone, now to your point, it's 10 and 1. That's early. And your Monday night game kicks off at 5:20, which means there needs to be a calendar hold placed on your work calendar on Mondays at 4 to give you time to get home. On the other hand, what I also found was when you live in the Pacific time zone, because prime time doesn't start at 7, prime time starts at 8, the way it does on the East Coast, even though it's pushed way out. If it's a very fast NFL game, you can actually watch Monday Night Football, wrap it up, and then move on and start watching prime time shows as they air in real time. Anyway, Pacific time's no good. No. It's no good for anybody for that. It turns out Mountain time zone is great if you want to watch sports. It takes a little getting used to, but you do get to go to bed at a decent hour.
Yeah, I can't say that about us. It's just I can't imagine living on the East Coast. I'm sorry, that's insane. So what do we got for feedback this week? Do we have is there follow-up?
Well, I was gonna say, before we do that, we should probably really quick. Do we have to do any other cleanup on that cold open? And I only asked because you showed me something. If we keep it in, you showed me something. And you said, did you know this? And I thought you were going to describe it, and you thought I was going to describe it. And I said no, and you moved on, and nobody described it. And this is an audio podcast.
At this point, the toddlers are losing their crap. So what I sent you was a picture. Thank you. Sweet Lord. This is what happens when we start recording at 4:12 in the afternoon. Just everything, again, West Coast time, we're just off here this week. What I sent you was a picture of, am I going to pronounce this correctly? Because it's English and we know that vowels don't count. Hannah Waddingham,
sure,
who is Rebecca.
Yes.
With that?
Yes, go with that. Sure.
Okay, let's go with that. Just lean into it. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Who's Rebecca on Ted Lasso, was also the shame bell ringer from Game of Thrones. And it was pictures of her in each role, really. And you knew that, and other Game of Thrones watchers in my household probably also know that. But since I've only watched about an episode and a half total of Game of Thrones, I did not. But I am familiar with the shame bell.
Yeah, I have watched about as many episodes as you have of Game of Thrones. However, Lisa informed me, hey, you know what Rebecca was? She did that. And so Lisa informed me. So anyway, yes, that's where I get all my pop culture information. So
there's other pop culture information that has broken in the last 24 hours. Do you want to talk about that?
What's that?
So somebody in your family got engaged.
Oh, sorry.
Is that pop culture? You're not, I know you're not on Facebook. Did I know about this before you did?
Wait, who? What? No. So talking to Todd, guest and occasional toddler, as she tells me. Did you listen to this week's show? I don't listen to all of them. Okay. Just mostly the ones I'm on. Okay. Well, that's fine. Yes. Lindsay let us know. And then a couple of days later made it Facebook official, which actually makes it official that Lindsay is now engaged. So yes, we're very happy for Lindsay and Nathan. So yes. I'm still caught up on your question about, is that pop culture? It kind of is, but it's also kind of Todd culture, right? So it's yeah, as Lisa says, they can't all be winners. So anyway. Oh, you know what? Oh, there's an idea.
Yes.
Oh. if we do wedding coverage on the podcast, you know what I can do?
If you can wrangle me an invite, we could come out and record a live episode. Then we could both write it off.
There you go. We just do commentary during. No, probably not. Nope. I'm getting some notes from the network live as we're recording this because we're just in the hotel room. Yeah.
Live play-by-play is not acceptable.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to do a live play-by-play during the wedding. So
we could mic Lindsay up. I think that would be a fantastic idea.
Not with the mics we use. That's going to interfere with the photos.
Oh. You just tuck it right in the bouquet and then
yeah, it'll be fine. Nobody will notice
until she goes to toss it, and then
anyway. Whoa, that's expensive.
Whoa, yeah, that's not the flowers that cost $500. The microphone. Be careful with that.
Yeah, we're gonna need that for later.
Oh,
let's see. Okay, so so that covers all the Todd culture. What else do we have? Do we have feedback?
I've got a little on my end. How about you?
Surprisingly, no. Nope. Other than I actually got real-time feedback last week, which was when I got finished recording. Lisa just had her noise cancellation headphones in and was watching a video in the hotel room, and it was, you done already? I have another episode to watch. So apparently we could have added more content. So anyway, how about feedback from you?
2 weeks ago, you were suggesting Tom Hanks movies.
Right. Because you were thinking of a George Clooney movie, and I was suggesting Tom Hanks movies for you. Yes.
Because I couldn't remember George Clooney.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So on the replay of the follow-up, the phrase malicious compliance was thrown around. You were being helpful. You were being helpful, but you weren't being helpful. Malicious compliance.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's actually, man, that's a hell of a stage name for a rapper.
We may have found this week's title. Malicious compliance. Oh, Lord. Let's see.
I'll tell you what, though, anybody who's worked in a big enough bureaucracy looks at that and goes, I know exactly what that is. But I already submitted that form. But you didn't do it. You didn't check the box. I did. Oh, you went you went 90 degrees to the right. It needs to be 90 degrees to the left. You have to refill out the form. Oh, okay.
All of them in
Yes.
triplicate.
Yes.
Also, you chose to travel during football season. So
yes.
Any watching delays or experiences that you may have are kind of on you.
Yes, good point.
That was from toddler number one.
Yes. Although given the way last week's game turned out, I was perfectly fine not being able to watch it.
Yeah, you didn't miss a whole lot.
Let's see. What other feedback do we have?
Let's see. So Sarah Judson Brown was behind on the podcast. She started listening and she got distracted. Then finally finished it up. Yes, she was listening to the podcast while she was working at home, and we are nice company. We're not bad. We're not bad company. We're nice company. There's a difference.
A much less successful band.
She picked the podcast back up where we were talking about the Lincoln ad, and for a second she thought we were talking about Abraham Lincoln, which would cause some confusion. 87 carburetors ago. I don't know. You can have a good trip or you can have content. Truer words were never spoken. That's absolutely true. Then, and lastly, her personal financial goal is to make a ridiculous amount of money and then make a donation to Drake so that they name something after her.
Okay.
And so her suggestion for content for a future episode, and toddlers chime in here. If you could have something named after you on a college campus or somewhere else, whatever, what would it be? If you could be the namesake of something, have something named after you, what would it be? And my immediate reaction was that John Torbert already wasted his. Because if you skip the annual fantasy football draft, it's called Torberting your draft. And so John Torbert, for the last 20 years now, has had something named after him.
Yes.
You Torbert your draft.
However, he didn't waste.
Total waste.
He did, but he didn't waste it because he didn't. So he didn't pay you, me, or the league anything for that. He got the naming rights for free. See, that's the way to do it, right? Like you want to do it so that they name it after you and you still keep your money. In that way, it wasn't that he wasted it. It was brilliant.
So she suggested the comedian. So similarly, you could Talkin2Todd something. The comedian was known for his Talkin2Todd style of humor. I'm pretty sure that's
I don't think anybody
catch on.
No. And then the comedian would go, is that an insult? Wait, what?
I didn't realize I was an insult comic.
Was I that bad? Come on.
So that's what we had at Sarah. And then, did I text you what we got from Greg and Sherry?
Yes, I think so.
The Talkin2Todd editor position has not been named. No, well, maybe it has, but it has definitely been endowed by toddlers 17 and 3187. Help me out here. Is it the toddlers 17 and 3187? Talkin2Todd editor.
So they did an endowment contribution, but they forgot to ask us what they wanted it, how they wanted it to be named. So,
that's a mistake.
Yeah, I mean that's just like giving money and not getting your credit. I mean, so they both pitched in. So I guess it's up to us to. We probably need to check with them, or it's up to us to. Okay, all right. Based off of that, well, here's what we can do to make sure that you get feedback. This is something I've learned, in the business world, that when you send out an email and you ask for feedback, you almost never get, you almost never get it. So the way to get it is you basically say, here's the decision that's going to be made unless you reach out to me by this date, right? And then you make sure that the decision gets people's attention. So in this case, given Greg and Sherry live in Chicago, we could call it and they contributed to this. So we could call it the Minnesota Vikings Talkin2Todd editor position. Would that
not on this
something?
not on this podcast.
Iowa State Cyclones. Try that one.
That we could do that. We could certainly do that.
And then just say, unless they have a better idea. At this point, however, Dewayne, this is part of relationship management with the whole what do they call your development officer? This is really, we want to work with our partners to get value for their contributions, and really look at how to make this a win-win. So we should probably reach out with our valued partners here at Talkin2Todd and see if we can't come up with something that works.
This is client services. This is Yeah, so we what we need is a development officer to manage this
Simon,
endowment
Simon, hey,
relation.
Simon, can you take care of that for us? Yeah. Okay. I'll see if we can get Simon on it. Yeah.
Because you know my name is Simon, and the things I draw come true.
Well, I was just going to say, we weren't paying for a ticket to Kevin to come with us, so I got my mate Simon here, doing doing the help on the podcast this week. So yeah,
Out of the Torpingham Hill satellite office, is that where he offices? Is that good?
Yeah, yep, that
Okay.
would be the one. Yep, right out there north of Keswick. Oh, geez. Lisa has not heard last week's episode yet, and she did not like hearing that. Okay. I fixed it on air. Don't worry. That's a callback. Okay, there we go. Simon, can you cue that up for her? Okay. All right. Sorry. We got issues going on. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
Sherry also wanted to know what it would be like if we actually did a live podcast with no editing. How many Eli Manning moments would there be?
Well, at least 2. Oh, sorry. Anyway, we used that joke last time, and we're using it again.
Still funny.
Yeah. Still
You know what? It's twice as funny.
Oh my goodness.
And would anyone lose their jobs? Yes, they absolutely would. Maybe both of us. There's always at least one thing in episode that gets cut out to save one or the other of us our jobs. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, and by jobs, we don't mean this. We mean our actual jobs.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, we basically did that. We did that live to tape episode.
Yes, we did.
And the feedback was clear. Never, ever, ever do that again.
Yeah, that's true. You know, we might get better at it if we did it more often like that, but I don't know that we're going to get the opportunity. So there's that. I did not have any corrections from last week.
I didn't have any corrections, but I did have just a bit of a follow-up.
Okay.
A number of episodes ago, we talked about if you would like a autonomous flying drone with a camera from Amazon that can fly around your house and check out things whenever it wants. And we were talking about that might be a bad idea. Well, if you're interested, they're now on pre-sale, I believe. So they had announced them, but I think this last week they've now actually you can now place an order for them. I don't think they're shipping immediately, but anyway, and if that doesn't interest you enough, Amazon also announced that for $1,000 you can get on the interested list, and they have an autonomous robot that will roll around your house and just go look at things for you, or at you, or I don't know, whatever. Anyway, Amazon's coming out with a lot of things that have cameras that can move by himself in your house. So good luck with that.
Did they weaponize either of those things?
No. That's you don't do it in phase 1, right? You do that.
That's V2. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's when you release the software update, and it says some bug fixes. Adds a chime, voice recognition gets better, fully armed operational battle station, and no longer requires an email for sign up. And you're like, wait, what? Nobody reads the release notes on this stuff.
Hey, speaking of software updates and releases, did you update your phone?
Oh, yeah. No, well,
they released 15.0.1, and you can wear your mask.
Yes, for
your travel home.
By the way, you should while you're on the road and don't have access to anything, applying software updates to your devices is also fairly risky. And as soon as it came out, I immediately downloaded and added it. Yes, it did. I've I've now been unlocking my phone while wearing a mask, and yeah, it's glorious. Apparently, Apple's new software strategy is release crappy software, and then when they fix the crappy software just to the level it should have been, you're so happy that they did it, you forget how bad it was to begin with. Thanks, Apple.
It's
amazing.
Glorious.
It's,
Oh my
wow.
God.
These guys are doing things that Google can't do. You mean, yeah, well, yeah, fixing problems you caused. Anyway, yes. Yeah.
Let's see. Main discussions. I did not get any tech requests this week. I think we just kind of touched on the only one that was out there.
Yep.
Main topics, stuff
Okay.
from England. Lisa has been posting things. I'm going to need some assistance here, and maybe she needs to come over and get on the mic. But what the hell is prawn mayo?
Wait. So no, it's not. No. I think you're missing a comma. Hold on, hey, Lisa, just to check. Your sandwich was prawn, comma, mayo.
No.
Correct?
Prawn mayo.
It's a prawn mayo sandwich, but it's not prawn mayo. It's prawn and mayo.
Yeah, but I don't think they put a comma on it. I think they just call it prawn mayo.
Yeah. So here's we are countries divided by a common language. So they call it a prawn mayo sandwich. There is no comma in it. However, if you were to make it, you don't go by prawn mayo.
Okay,
you get
good, because I'm envisioning this jar in my fridge of shrimp flavored mayonnaise. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Well, here's the thing. I can't tell you that doesn't not exist, right? May have to go to the grocery store. Does prawn flavored mayonnaise exist?
No, but prawn flavored potato chips.
Yeah. So according to Lisa, we can't get prawn flavored mayonnaise. Instead, you can get prawn flavored crisps or potato chips. So you get prawn crisps. So it's all the goodness of potato chip, but tasting like prawns. Those are according to Lisa, quote unquote, the best, unquote. So anyway, yes. So just to wrap that up, yes. Prawn mayo is prawns and mayo.
It just sounds awful. I'm sorry. Even
now that we've cleaned it up, it still doesn't help you.
It's still not appealing. No, but okay. Apparently.
Well, I believe there's a discussion on Facebook about because I believe Lisa posited that it's the best sandwich ever, and there a spirited debate ensued. So what I will tell you is, when we stop and get sandwiches, Lisa gets prawn mayo sandwiches. I get any number of sandwiches. Never have I got a prawn mayo sandwich. So I'm not saying I disagree with Lisa. I'm just saying that I'd like to try other sandwiches.
So I need to tuck this one away for a time when I'm playing Never Have I Ever.
Oh, there you go.
Eating a prawn mayo sandwich. Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
Yep. There you go.
So speaking of lively Facebook discussions ensuing.
Yes.
Should we go to this?
Let's go to this.
So son Lucas, who's at Bradley, is living in the fraternity house this year and has already started talking. Again, he's 6 weeks into school, maybe more. It's October. 8 weeks into school. He's already talking about not living in the fraternity house next year.
Having lived in a fraternity house for 2 years, I can tell you that 8 weeks in a fraternity house is just about the right time to start thinking about where else to live. Yes.
Because, and I kid you not, people don't do their chores. Dude,
Wow,
welcome to my world.
That basement of yours is pretty sheltered. And not just against tornadoes.
Oh, but his roommate, go ahead.
I'm just guessing he's not planning on a career in management.
But his roommate is great. TJ's super. They get along really good. So they're talking about getting an apartment with a couple other guys, or actually renting a house with a couple other guys. So I'm driving along the other day and he calls me and says, "Hey, you got a second?" Sure. We're talking about going to look at these houses that are available for rent. What should I be looking for? And I went, huh. There was a point when I knew everything. And then there was a point when I knew absolutely nothing. Apparently, I'm starting to get back to the point where I can be a resource again to my son. I don't know if you've experienced this particular phenomenon where as a parent, you absolutely know nothing.
And then suddenly you seem to gain some knowledge, wisdom, skills, or something. Not immediately, but it eventually shows up. It's weird how that happens.
So anyway, Lucas called me, and I don't want to make fun of him. I appreciate the phone call, and he and I probably talked for 20 or 25 minutes about things you ought to look for, and turn on the water, right, and check the water pressure and make sure it's not rusty the entire time when the water is running, or are there outlets in the bathroom, are there outlets in the kitchen, are there what's the parking look like, and if you got 4 guys, you got 4 cars, do they all have places to park, right? What do the door locks look like? Have they been busted out? Have they been repaired? These kinds of things, right? And I know that all of our friends that are on Facebook are smarter collectively than any of us are individually. So I posted a week ago now, just about a week ago, on Facebook, if you're touring a house or apartment as a potential renter, what are the things that you look for? What do you got? And our friends, my friends, your friends, came out of the woodwork, not literally, because it's a house thing, with
if you
answers.
got stuff coming out of the woodwork, yeah, that's a sign. By the way, I will just point out, if I'm looking at this here, knowing the context, I'm wondering how many people would change their answers, because what you said, you posted, what would you look for, right? If you're touring a house or apartment as a potential renter. Okay. What I will tell you is, what I looked for as a renter in college and what I would look for now are the Venn diagram of those two. I don't know that they ever actually touch, right? So context is rather important on this question. Because to be honest, at times when you're in college, the things that would make our current selves walk away from a property are the things in college you go, this is so cool. Look what it's got. However, with that in mind, what ideas has the group come up with of things that we should look for as a potential renter?
First answer out of the box. Like, I kid you not, 30 seconds after I posted it,
yeah,
Jeannie says bugs. 1-word answer. Bugs.
Yeah. Again, what I'm going to say though is, so you're going to need to be a little bit more specific, right? Again, as if you're moving out of a fraternity house, right? Is that something when you say you're looking for them, are you looking for the absence of them? Like, anyway, just saying.
If there are fewer bugs when you're touring than what you see on a normal daily basis, it's not for their standards, fewer bugs than currently where they are would be
there you
an
go.
improvement.
Yes.
I'm looking for none, but there's that. What's the internet look like? What does this is justice up the street. What's your cell phone coverage look like in the house and everywhere in the house? This is important stuff, not just when you're a college student, but anyone really. Susan Stokeham suggests that you make sure that the water in the sinks drains well.
Oh, okay. Yes, completely agree. Again, I can tell you, when I look back on renting as a college student, at no point was I testing whether the water drained quickly from the sinks. So you know what, this becomes a checklist,
right? Yes.
I believe question one was how much, and then everything else below that was debatable.
Are the utilities included or not? Which, with the place that they're looking at, they aren't. So what's that going to run you? Mahoney's suggestion was really good. If it's an apartment, make sure that your apartment isn't the one that's in between two other apartments. Make sure you've got an outside wall. So then you only have one annoying neighbor rather than two. That's important.
Let me counter that though. If you want to save money on your utilities, especially in places that get cold, if you're on the outside, it'll be quieter. Well, maybe not, because if it's right next to the parking lot, then you're going to have to listen to people driving and talking or whatever all night. But you have to pay to heat that outside wall. If you're in the middle between the two, those people are paying to heat. You get a heating discount. See, it's all how you prioritize stuff. I'm not being helpful, am I? I think some of these answers are probably better. Okay.
Sarah Judson Brown, helpful as always. Stains on the carpet, smelly fridge, desiccated remains of previous renter in the second bedroom.
So she flagged all those as red flags. What I find interesting is she specifically calls out on that last one in the second bedroom. So if there's crime scene tape in the first bedroom, that's not a red flag according to her. Okay, good to know. Because I'm going to tell you this. If there's any of that, whatever bedroom that is, that immediately becomes the second bedroom, right?
Automatically. Yes.
Yeah.
Automatically.
You know what? We just close that door and we don't even look at that one anymore. What's in there? Don't ask.
Sarah's daughter, Emma, if you knock on the wall and it knocks back, that's a red flag. Yep. Uh-huh. John Torbert suggested no dead bodies. It's a low bar. Anything? Do you have any interesting apartment stories or house renting stories? Things you wish you'd have done differently?
Yeah, none that I want to admit to, because I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations on some of those hasn't run out yet, and I think the state I'm in extradites. So,
what state are you in? Confusion. Denial.
I think, Dewayne, actually, here's the thing. I'm looking at this list. I mean, there's some funny stuff on here, but there's a lot of really good ideas, to be completely honest. I think, I'm always looking for business opportunities. I think that this now becomes the Talkin2Todd rental checklist that we can, are you thinking about moving into an apartment? Do you know the 732 most important things to look at? Well, we do. All you have to do is send a self-addressed stamped envelope and a check for $19.95 plus shipping and handling to Tuba City, Utah, to Tuba City, Arizona. Yeah, please don't do that.
Please don't do that.
To Pueblo, Colorado, and we will send you the checklist.
Did you take any more pictures while you were on vacation this week?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is
No, sorry. Not vacation.
yeah. No,
You're
no,
on
no.
assignment.
On assignment, vacation. That's no. Yeah, I did want to share with you some of the amazing signs of England, Volume 2, that I think that you will appreciate. So let me start sending them to you here. This one's on the motorway. You're going to be looking at the sign, and here you go.
It's a sign that says sign not yet in use. Oh, sweet Lord.
So that's attached actually to a large sign that goes over the motorway that they are building. But to let you know that that sign is not in use, they put up another sign that says sign not yet in use. But I was confused. Which sign is not yet in use? Because technically the sign that says not yet in use needs to have an additional sign that says this sign is in use.
Is this like an electronic billboard? And because it wasn't operating, they got sick of phone calls saying, hey, your sign is out.
I'm assuming, although, given England, they preemptively took care of it. Health and safety preemptively took care of it.
Sign not yet in use.
Yeah. Apparently, when somebody said we need to print up a sign that says sign not yet in use, nobody at the printers went, are you sure? Anyway, you know what? Job's a job. Let's see. Oh, here's another one. And this one, the sign isn't as funny as the this really makes you feel good about your safety. And there's the big sign and then the small sign that explains the big sign.
Park mark. Safer parking.
So you need to know that this is a safer parking lot. It meets certain requirements. What requirements? How do they know that they meet requirements? Do you see the sign below?
Cleaner, brighter, it must be safer car parks.
Well, it must be patrolled or something, right? I mean, if it's a safer car park, they must have some sort of regular patrol to make sure that you and your items are safe, because if you don't regularly patrol it, how can you say that it's a safer park? So they do explain how often they patrol the parking lot to make you safe. And Dewayne, how often do they patrol the parking lot to ensure that it's a safe parking lot?
And annually?
Once a year.
At least once a year, your car is absolutely safe.
We're going to wander through this and make sure that and here's the funny thing. It's a safer park, right? It's safer parking. Checking once a year is better than not checking at all. We had problems before, but now that we come through once a year, it's much safer.
Oh, sweet Lord.
Let's see. Oh, this one I saw. So here's somebody who on the motorways, if there's road construction going on and they take away like the shoulder, if you break down, they have what they call free recovery. If you break down and there isn't a shoulder for you, the highway team will come and they will pay to tow your car because you're now blocking lanes of traffic, right? So they let you know where the free recovery zone begins and where the free recovery zone ends. And somebody clearly had a problem because their van broke down. But they were thinking about it, because I'm going to tell you that the van in this picture that I took, this van is absolutely broken down, and they knew exactly where they needed to stop.
Free recovery ends right before there.
One van length before he stopped.
I thought maybe this was going to be a picture of three people pushing a van so that it was on the other side of where free recovery starts.
Well, we can't say that didn't happen before I got there. I think my car is breaking down. Hey, there's the sign. Hit the brakes.
I tell you, that sign does not look permanent. It looks to me like that sign may have been on the other side of the van 10 minutes prior.
It's true. It's just, no, I can't believe oh, this is a solvable problem. Let's see, two more. By the way, what's your favorite place to bootleg alcohol from, and when you go to and from Illinois?
Shullsburg, Wisconsin.
No, the barn.
Oh, Benny's Beverage Depot.
Yeah, Benny's Beverage Depot, which should be Benny's Beverage Barn, right? Because it's right. Okay.
Yes.
Benny's not the only people that have problems with alliteration when it comes to selling alcohol. We walked past this store and I immediately thought, why can't people get this right? They were so close, so close.
Bargain booze.
Yeah, but it's not bargain booze. That's fine, but look right below it.
Bargain booze plus.
Plus. Oh, you were right there. You were right there. And then you had to go for plus. Which does make me think, did you add that just because, like, Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, anyway. And then the last one, this one, I'm going to have to say, when we were up in the northern England in the Lake District, and what I'm going to say is there were a number of these signs, and I'm very, very concerned that Northern England is incredibly hostile to Deion Sanders, because I saw these signs everywhere, and I want to make sure that I don't know what Deion did to piss them off, but it's very clear that Deion Sanders is not welcome in many of the places in Northern England.
Does this say no primetime coverage? No coaches. Very nice. Sorry, coach.
Yeah, sorry, coach. You were very clear about what we had to call you. You can't use this road. No coaches.
No coaches. Oh, those of you who have stuck through this entire segment, we're sorry. It sounds like pictures of Todd's vacation.
Assignment.
Sorry, yes, assignment.
And hey, by the way, just to be clear, I have plenty of vacation pictures. These were all shot specifically with Talking to Todd in mind. This is a whole separate album of content. All of the rest of the shots I took, they're not being shared. Those are some vacation photos. This was literally, I was on assignment driving going, that's funny. That's funny. Hey, look, Deion, that's funny. Now the toddlers are going, cool. When are we getting to those funny ones, Todd? All right. Where are we at?
So have you seen anything this week? Have you watched anything? Have you filmed anything?
Well, so as we've discussed multiple times, we spent lots and lots of time watching English train videos on YouTube. And so for the last week, instead of what's better than watching English train videos, just riding English trains and going to train stations. So it's like, you know how they take like when you go to Universal Studios and they take the movie and turn it into a ride. Well, we did that, right? We turned the train videos into a ride, not exactly amusement park level. However, so what we got to see was we got to see the Irish Sea out the window of a train as we were riding that, and then just today. This sounds terrible. The London Underground recently opened 2 new train stations that they haven't done, underground stations that they haven't done that in quite a while. And so we went to go see what new underground stations look and smell like. Look good and smell better than most.
Give it a month, they'll fix that.
Yeah. I walked in and said, "Is that the new station's smell?" And Lisa said, "The lack of urine." Yep, that's it. So that's unfair. That's unfair. That's not every station's that way. Anyway, so we haven't been watching a lot of videos because we've been writing the videos. So anyway, yes. Although to your point, you were looking for where were our videos of us running out of a train, touching the wall of the station, and then running back on before the train leaves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was looking for that.
Yeah. And then after I pointed out that it was raining heavily the day that we did that, I believe your advice to me was, seriously, don't do that. We're old, something bad will happen. Yes, here's the text. Don't, period. Seriously, period. We're old, period. You'll hurt something. So so
Yes,
it's good to
true.
know it's good to know that I can receive text messages internationally for free on our plan to get supportive stuff like that. How about you? What are you watching?
We
Oh,
went in.
Oh, sorry. One other thing, and I'll come back. The one thing we didn't watch, and I was kicking myself because I really wanted to be able to talk about this, because the new Bond film came out a week early over here.
Ah,
And so I wanted to jump on this and say, oh yeah. Oh, and we watched No Time to Die. And then you could be like, wait, what? However, the town that we were staying in up in the Lake District had their cinema was built in 1929. It has 3 screens, one that seats 65 people, one that seats 100 people, and the big screen seats 400 people. And we were all ready to go. And then I said, a Bond movie feels like one that you want to go to with digital projection, surround sound. like you want the full effect. Everybody says that this theater is nice and quaint and a throwback to days gone by of cinema. And Bond isn't cinema. Bond's a blockbuster film. So
but
we
they
opted
release?
to not.
This is the 25th Bond movie. Did they release it on the 59th anniversary of the release of Dr. No?
I am not in possession of that knowledge.
Because that was just within the past week. The 59th anniversary of the original release of Dr. No.
Oh, they should have held it for one more year. At this point, it's been out. It's been in the can for 2-3 years. They could have waited for the 60th and called it good. Anyway, so that's on the list. I really wanted to show up and say that that's what we would watch, and then we decided we got to be movie snobs and decided we wanted the big screen for that. So anyway, so what are you watching or not watching, as the case may be?
We went to see Venom 2 in the theater in Pekin. We spent the last weekend in Peoria with Lucas, and the 3 of us went over to Pekin because that's when the movie time worked out for our schedule, and saw Venom Let There Be Carnage.
Okay, let me guess. Was that Lucas's pick or was that your pick?
It was something that the 3 of us decided to do together. We generically, the 3 of us all like superhero movies.
Mm-hmm.
And the first Venom movie, I rewatched it last week in preparation for watching Venom 2 because I knew we were going to go do this. It is not the train wreck that I remember it being.
High praise.
And Venom 2 is about the same. It's okay.
Big endorsement there.
It's mostly fresh, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't. I can go on Wikipedia and look up the Rotten Tomatoes rating and see what it says. I don't know. Something. I don't know how any of this stuff works. Did you learn anything while you were on the road?
Yeah. So 2 things. Number 1, I live in a desert, and we went up north to the Lake District. According to everybody, the previous 2 weeks they had amazing weather. It was sunshine and just gorgeous weather. And the day we got there, it started raining, and it didn't stop until we got in the car a week later and drove away. And we drove away to bright blue skies. And for the 7 days that we were up there, it didn't stop raining. Biblical rains. Amazing amounts of rain. That said, it happens quite a bit up there. So you either don't go out or you just get used to it. So we spent a week going out, and I spent time out hiking
In the rain.
In the rain, through a forest in the rain. Yeah. So anyway, an amazing amount. I think in that 1 week, I've now seen and been out in more rain than the undisclosed location gets in a year or two. So anyway, I'm good now for a while. Yeah. The other thing that I learned, and I'm gonna put this in the relearn bucket because you experienced this 2 years ago, and it's even more so now. Look, the U.S. needs to get its act together when it comes to paying for stuff, okay? Because we like to think that the United States is leading the world in technology, and we're this advanced. No. We haven't needed to use cash or credit cards the entire time we've been here, because we just use our phone, and everything you can pay with your phone, right, through Apple Pay. Or through the wallet. When we were here 2 years ago, you could pay for most things with it.
Mhm.
But now, you don't even need a ticket to ride the underground. You just tap your phone. It doesn't even have to use Face ID. It's now built in with Express Transit. So you just tap your phone when you get on, tap your phone when it gets off. At the end of the day, it figures out how much it charges you. It charges you. And when I say everywhere takes this, when we were up in the Lake District, we were in a town, a little hamlet, as they would say. Population, 519 people. Okay. The size of this town, according to Wikipedia, it has 1 primary school, no secondary school, and 4 pubs. It's about the
You sure
right.
you weren't in Wisconsin? Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
It actually kind of looked like it a little bit. Yeah. In the car park, there's a, and it's a very big tourist place. It wasn't quite as busy because we're off season and it was raining. It's where I went hiking. In the car park, there's also restrooms for people, to this public area. But just like most of the public restrooms in England, you have to pay to get in, because you have to pay, and they use that to keep them, stocked and clean and all of that. Okay, so I'm in the middle of the Cumbrian Mountains. They're big hills, but whatever, they call them the Cumbrian Mountains. We're in the middle. We're in this hamlet in the middle, in this valley between quote unquote mountains on either side, in a town of 500 people. You want to get in to use the bathroom? Tap your phone. It takes contactless in the middle of nowhere. In an unattended bathroom to get in, contactless payments. I'm just saying, this is what needs to happen everywhere. Why? Like, it is faster, it is safer, it is so much better. And we're in a couple of days, we're going to get on a plane, we're going to fly back to the United States, and immediately we're going to get out our phone to pay, and people are going to be like, "What are you going to do with that?" Nope. You got to swipe your card. Oh. So anyway, man, we need to catch up. Anyway, this is glorious 2 weeks of just, it's so much better. So much better. How about you? What did you learn this week?
Do you eat apricots?
Occasionally. What I would say is I don't go out of my way to find them, but if presented with them, I will eat them.
How about dried apricots?
Same category, exact same answer. What I will say is exact same answer. They get presented to me even less than regular apricots, which are not in a normal rotation to begin with.
Amy had some friends over for a dinner. She assembled herself a charcuterie board that included various meats and cheeses and nuts and a bowl of dried apricots. I was bartender, cook, and server for their evening. And when things were left over, I closed them up, stuck them in the fridge, cleaned things up, whatever. The following day, I was working at home, was hungry, needed something for lunch, and really didn't have a whole lot of time. So I go to the fridge, I grab this bowl of dried apricots, and I bring it back to my office, and I start eating the dried apricots. And over the course of a couple of hours, I polished off probably a, I don't know, 3-inch bowl of dried apricots. It's what I ate for lunch that day.
Standard measurement of food is 3-inch bowl. Sure. Okay.
And then about 45 minutes later, I started to not feel so well. And then had to basically shut down for the remainder of the afternoon because I spent it in the bathroom, because enough apricots are a natural laxative. Very similar to dried prunes.
Yeah. I was going to say, at first I was just concerned about the volume situation, where they were dried and then sort of being rehydrated, but you exceeded the recommended serving size.
I absolutely did. And then when I started feeling better and was finally able to leave the bathroom, I'm like, I wonder if I wasn't exactly, I'm like, I wonder if the cheesy potato thing that I had for breakfast had gone bad. I wonder if that doesn't make a whole lot of, I ate that entire bowl of apricots. Google. Huh, look at that. What did I learn this week? Apricots, natural laxative.
I'm just going to point out, you could have educated our audience to that fact without a lot of the details.
You're welcome, toddlers. The music is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. It's available on incompetech.com under a Creative Commons attribution license. You can subscribe to Overcast. Did you know that?
I don't think that's the way that works. Although you can pay them an annual fee to get some additional bonus. But yeah, I don't think that's actually. You know what? I do subscribe to Overcast, but that's a whole other thing.
You can subscribe to Talkin to Todd on Overcast or Apple Podcast or Spotify or Podbean, wherever you get your pods. Just search Talkin and the number 2, no G, no space. We have a page on Facebook. You can tweet us on Facebook. You can check out our award-winning merch on Zazzle. You can leave us a voicemail at 515, also CPA. That's 515-257-6272. We got a voicemail this week from Doug. I did not play it. You're welcome, toddlers. The voicemail was sponsored by DJ to Go Cedar Valley. I just want to throw that out there just in case you were curious. You can stop by and see us at the Tuba City home office, wherever the hell else we happen to be this week. And the website, as always, is Talkin2Todd.com. Thank you to our listeners, especially the new ones. Tell your friends, send us your feedback at Talkin2Todd.com, even though no one does that. Todd?
Okay, 2 things on Venom. Number 1, do you know who directed it?
No.
Andy Serkis.
Why do I know that name?
Because according to, as Wikipedia, source of all truth and knowledge, points out, he is one of the highest grossing actors of all time. He does all the motion cap stuff. So he was Gollum.
That's why I know. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And let's see, a number of other things. So anyway, yes. And the other item, according to the source of all truth and knowledge, quote, The film has grossed over $119 million worldwide and received mixed reviews from critics, although it was generally considered an improvement over its predecessor. Close quote.
That's not wrong. That's accurate.
It's good to know that it's not critically acclaimed. It's critically recognized. Critics recognize that it is released.
It's like Alexis Rose's short-lived reality TV show that was critically reviewed. It's critically reviewed.
So anyway, you know what? They keep releasing 6 or 7 or 8 of these. You know, if each one is slightly better than the previous one, eventually they might get to something good.
Hey, it worked for the Fast and the Furious.
Let me know when they get good. Oh, sorry. I've never actually watched them. That was mean. I shouldn't be insulting Dwayne Johnson to his face. Oh, sorry. Other one.
Oh, well, if we watch anything decent next week, we'll let you know about it right here on Talking to Todd.
Just may record all the podcasts from now on the iPad. No, let's not do that.
It's going to be really nice to get back to the old way next week.